Imagine being your own worst critic, day in and day out, constantly feeling like you're falling short while you're out there saving lives. The key to doing your best wasn't pushing yourself harder, but treating yourself with the same compassion you give to others. Today, we're going to dive into why self-compassion might be the most powerful tool you're missing in your service role. And today, we're going to focus on something that's often overlooked in the world of first responders, self-compassion. In this episode, I'm going to dive into and explore how caring for yourself isn't a luxury, but a necessary for emotional resilience, preventing burnouts, and reducing the harsh self-criticism that can come with the job. By the end of this episode, you'll learn practical strategies for shifting from self-criticism to self-kindness and discover how this simple mindset change can make all the difference in your ability to serve with strength and clarity. Welcome to Shields Down, Healing for First Responders, the podcast supporting those on the front lines as they navigate PTSD and trauma. Each episode brings stories of resilience, expert insights, and tools for recovery, offering hope and a path forward. So put your shield down, reclaim your strength, and remember, you're not alone. I want to talk about the importance of self-compassion in these high-stress roles that we work. Now, as first responders, we're often trained to prioritize others, but self-compassion is crucial for sustaining long-term well-being. By treating yourself with the same care and understanding that you extend to those in a crisis, you can really begin to build resilience and reduce that burnout. Right? It's a tool for emotional resilience. Because in high stress roles that we take on, emotions are going to run high. And the pressure to perform flawlessly can really take a toll on our lives. So self-compassion helps to create that internal support system that promotes emotional resilience, that allows you to recover from difficult moments and remain grounded during these high pressure situations. Now, when you're doing self-compassion, when you're helping yourself and when you're talking to yourself, it's going to help prevent that burnout through that self-kindness, right? Constantly putting others first without really giving yourself the grace to recharge is going to lead to emotional and physical burnout, right? If you're doing things for others over and over and over again, you're going to burn yourself out. Time to recharge. And this leads to, pushing yourself to that next level, becoming that person that people are longing for. Practical self-care practice means recognizing your limits and giving yourself permission to rest and to recoup, which in turn makes you more effective and sustainable in your service role that we do as first responders. You have to really work on reducing that negative self-talk. And this is going to, again, enhance your mental health. Self-criticism is often common in high-stress roles. We often think that, no, we're not good enough, or no, we can't be the person we want to be, or we're failing, or we're not reaching the limits that we want to reach. And by treating yourself with the same empathy that you do with others, you can reduce these harmful effects of negative self-talk. You can reduce these times that we push ourselves, and you can really enhance your overall mental health and your ability to cope with the demands of the job. Be a balance between service and self-care, right? Caring for others doesn't mean neglecting yourself. Recognizing when you're reaching your emotional limits and giving yourself permission to rest is key to staying effective in your role. Remember, self-care allows you to continue to serve with strength and clarity. Self-care doesn't stop you in your tracks. It doesn't say, well, I'm not good enough. I can't do it. Self-care rehabilitates you internally and helps you to be a better first responder, right? In high pressure roles, it's very common to feel that we always need to put others first. But However, constantly neglecting your own needs is going to lead to burnout, is going to lead to emotional fatigue. It's going to also reduce the effectiveness of how you serve. Self-care is not selfish. I really want to say that again. Self-care is not selfish. It's essential for maintaining your ability to serve at your best. Recognize it. You have to recognize the signs of emotional and physical exhaustion, right? It's critical to pay attention to these early warning signs that are pushing you beyond your limits, right? Things like chronic fatigue, irritability, feeling disconnected from your work, simple things like that. But by recognizing these signs, then you can take a more proactive step to rest and recharge before you reach that breaking point. Effective self-care is going to be different from person to person. How I care for myself and the things I do are going to be a lot different than the things that you want. There could be some similarities, but there could also be definitely some differences. But the key is to create a routine that fits your needs, whether that involves physical activities, mental health practices like mindfulness, or setting boundaries to protect your personal time. Regularly incorporating these practices ensures that you're in the best shape mentally, emotionally, and physically to continue to serve. So when you're thinking about a self-care routine, what works best for you? What are some things that you could do? What are some things that you could do within your life for yourself? Right? You have to shift from self-criticism to self-kindness. Right? It's easy to be hard on ourselves when things don't go as planned. It's, I don't want to say it this way, but it's human in nature, right? But when you're replacing harsh self-judgment with self-compassion, this can lead to a healthier mindset. And it can foster personal growth and emotional well-being in the demanding profession that we're in. Now, the impact of self-criticism on mental health can be emotionally draining. Right? I talked about that earlier, right? Things like stress, guilt, inadequacy, especially in our professions. This is going to overall, in the long run, hurt our mental health, right? This negative inner dialogue undermines both confidence and well-being, and it makes it harder to recover from the setbacks. Imagine prior to going into a scenario, into a situation, and you've already told yourself that you're not good enough. How can you be a good officer? How can you be a good first responder? Because you're stupid, or you don't have the strength, or you don't have the ability. But then you're faced, because that's part of our job, is to respond to these situations. So it's something we must do. But then you're not ready to do it. You're not ready to be there because you've already told yourself these negative self-talks. Shifting to self-kindness means treating yourself with understanding, with patience, especially when things don't go as planned. Now, this shift is going to encourage a more supportive internal dialogue, right? Which is going to help build resilience, promote emotional well-being, and foster that sense of self-worth. And when you can recognize and replace critical self-thoughts, it's going to move you into that new place. Right? To move you from self-criticism into self-kindness. But you have to be aware, right? We think over 30,000 thoughts a day. And most of them are repetitive, but some of them are negative. And when you can identify these patterns, you can consciously replace them with a compassionate talk, such as, I'm human, I'm doing my best, or mistakes are a part of learning, right? This practice transforms how you handle challenges and setbacks. As always, I want to leave you with an exercise, and today we're going to work on a self-compassion reflection and practice. Okay, just a little 4-step exercise that you can do. So, and as always, I'll put a little PDF in the description, so you're welcome to download that. So, step 1 is to write down a recent situation where you felt you didn't perform as well as you'd hoped you would. Okay, and then step 2 is to identify and note the self-critical thoughts that came up afterwards. And this is why I do a lot of journaling right after the incidents, because I can go back to any incidents that I've dealt with and I can say, okay, well, I thought this, I did this, this were my actions, this is how I overcome them, and I really kind of work on that. So if you're doing this all the time, it's going to become a habit for you. Step 3 is to now imagine how you would talk to a colleague or a friend, right, in the same situation. Write down what you would say to them if they did what you did, if they responded the way you responded, right? You don't know what they thought, but you know what they did. So you can basically say the things that you would say to a friend. And now reflect on how you can apply this to yourself, right? To show the same compassionate response. And practice this, and then start doing this. I'm doing my best in challenging situations. It's okay to make mistakes when I'm learning, right? I know what not to do next time. And these are the things that you can learn, and you begin to build habits. And after every situation, then once you've done this 10, 15, 20 times, you'll learn not to have negative self-talk. Because you know, yeah, I made the mistake. I'm going to move forward with this. And that's how easy this can be. So I want to wrap up this episode with a thought. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this thought. Self-compassion is not a sign of weakness, but it's a cornerstone of true resilience. It's about recognizing that you are human, that you deserve the same care and understanding that you would extend to those you serve every day. And by practicing self-kindness, you're not only protecting your mental and emotional well-being, but you're also enhancing your capacity to continue to show up fully in your role as a first responder. Remember, shifting from self-criticism to self-compassion, it's a journey, right? It's going to take small steps, whether it's noticing negative self-talk, settling healthy boundaries, taking time to recharge, whatever it is for you, these actions can make all the difference in sustaining your passion and effectiveness in the long run. And again, thanks for joining me for this important conversation. I hope that today's episode has given you valuable insights and tools to take better care of yourself while continuing to care for others. So be sure to check out that self-compassion reflection exercise I said and apply it next time you're feeling the weight of self-criticism. Thank you for tuning in to Shields Down, Healing for First Responders. Remember, healing is a journey and each step forward matters. Now, if today's episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need it. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories, insights, and tools for recovery. Together, we'll build a stronger, more resilient community. Until next time, stay safe, stay strong, and we'll see you on the next episode.